Welcome to the video. In this session, we'll be going over which subscription is going to be best for your business in QuickBooks. So let's jump right into it. So first off, we are going to, you can just go to QuickBooks.com. It'll take you to, and then go to plans and pricing. If you want a little bit more of a discount, you can go and hit the link below in the description, and that will give you my discount as a QuickBooks Pro Advisor or a QuickBooks QuickBooks Pro Advisor. So if you want a little bit more of a discount for 6 months, the other one is 50% for 3 months. So it's not a huge difference. With mine, you get 30% off for 6 months. So it's a little bit more, but it's not a huge deal. So once you hit the link and you go to QuickBooks, then you're presented with a few different options here. So we'll go over each one individually. And I do have to note that there's one option that they kind of hide from you, and it's a little bit sneaky, but it's for freelancers. It's called this one is for QuickBooks Self-Employed. And so it's on this little tab here, or if you're on the regular, just the regular QuickBooks site, you just go down to the bottom and it's right here, QuickBooks Self-Employed for $750. And I'll go over the differences with this one and show you why to use this one or why not to use this one, because there's a few differences here. So typically we'll start here. If you have a small business and you're a sole proprietorship, it's just yourself, you're 100% owner, and you file a Schedule C for your business, then this one's an okay option for you to go with. Me personally, I don't like the QuickBooks Self-Employed, just because it's a completely different program than the regular QuickBooks Online platforms or other subscriptions. And so I typically steer people away from this one, just because if you do for some reason start to grow and you need other options and abilities to grow into other packages, then you'll want to start off with one of those packages, because this one's a completely different program. So you'll get used to this one, and then you'll learn it, and then you'll have to relearn a new subscription model or a new model if you jump to another package. So I typically steer people away from this one, just because it's a little bit different. It doesn't have as many benefits and perks as the other ones do, obviously, because those are higher packages. So, but if you know you're going to be just a sole proprietor and you just need the very basics, you just need somewhere to put your numbers, this one's going to do just fine for you. So in the QuickBooks Self-Employed, you will have the option to connect your bank account just like you would with any other subscription model. You will be able to allocate those transactions, each one of those transactions, to whatever category they were. If it was fuel, if it was office supplies, so you'll be able to have the option to do that. You'll have the option to track your mileage. In here, you'll be able to. It says maximize deductions. I don't know really what that means, other than you're going to be putting your information in. Of course, you're going to maximize your deductions, because you're going to be putting in all of your transactions. You're going to track all your cash transactions, and essentially you'll have everything in one place. You'll have your income and deductions going through the same place. So it does have a quarterly estimated taxes calculator, and really all that is it's calculating self-employment tax based on your income. So, which is great. I mean, because otherwise you'd have to hand calculate that, but that's pretty straightforward. And then again, like I said, you have your mileage tracking. I don't have a lot of clients personally that do this, they usually use MileIQ or something else, but this is a good option for you. So again, this is a very basic model. You have transactions that you allocate. One thing I don't like about QuickBooks Self-Employed is that there's really not an option for you to reconcile your bank account, and that's kind of an important part of all of this is you want to make sure all your numbers are accurate. And so the other options are a little bit better to go with again, especially if you're growing. So let's go over to the normal packages here. So let's start with Simple Start. All of these, each one of these have their own key function, and you can go through and read each category. But essentially what you'll be able to do is track your income and expenses the same way you would in QuickBooks Self-Employed. So you'll be able to connect your bank accounts and your credit card accounts, your savings account to QuickBooks Online, and be able to allocate each expense as it really were. So again, I would always make sure that I would have a bank account that's dedicated specifically for your business, and try not to use that personally, so that you don't mix those funds, and that you're keeping personal and business separate. So you'll be able to track your income and expenses through the QuickBooks banking side of things. You'll be able to invoice a customer and accept payment through QuickBooks, which is actually a really cool feature. You'll be able to just send them a link to the invoice, and they'll be able to either have the option to pay with a credit card or pay with their bank account number. So that's very helpful for you because you get funds very quickly. So, and then here's that maximize tax deductions. So of course, that's what we're going to do. That's the whole point. You'll be able to run and generate general reports. So your profit and loss, your balance sheet, some cash flow reports, things that a few reports that'll help you with your business. A newer feature, it's fairly new over the past couple of years, is the capture and organize receipts. So if you're used to having your shoebox of receipts, this is a good way of just taking a quick snapshot of your receipt and uploading it to QuickBooks, and then you'll be able to tie it to that transaction in QuickBooks. And then you'll be able to track mileage. Again, there's reports for managing your cash flow. You'll be able to track sales and sales tax. So this is typically for, I wouldn't recommend Simple Start for anybody that carries inventory or anything like that. Really, the sales tax is more for locale sales tax, and also for contractors who have to collect and remit sales tax as a contractor. In certain states, that's required. So that's what that portion is for. And then send estimates. You'll be able to send an estimate before you send an invoice, and then tie that estimate to an invoice, which again, you can't do invoicing and estimates in this the QuickBooks Self-Employed section. So that's why I kind of typically recommend just automatically starting over here in the Simple Start QuickBooks section. So you'll be able to send and receive send estimates and invoices to your customers. And then lastly, manage 1099 contractors. So that typically, if you have just a very standard business, doesn't really matter how you're structured. If you're a sole proprietor, if you're a partnership, if you're an LLC or an S Corp or a C Corp, Simple Start is a really good place to start and then add on to it. So if I were to recommend any of the packages, any of the subscriptions, I would definitely recommend Simple Start. Just because you'll be able to build off of that one, and you'll be able to save money, right off the bat. So I would start there for any type of business. So let's jump over to Essentials. QuickBooks Essentials, again, has all the same functions as the Simple Start, but they are tacking on a couple items here. It's funny because the first one, it says includes 3 users. Well, your Simple Start actually includes you, and you can also add an accountant to Simple Start. If you're getting value out of this video, please hit the like and subscribe button below. So, for example, if you were to hire me to help you do your month-end reconciliation or clean up your books, you could add me as an accountant in the Simple Start, and that wouldn't cost you any extra money to be able to do that. And again, be careful with who you share your books with, because obviously it's sensitive information, and you want to make sure that you either get a non-disclosure agreement with an accountant, or some kind of agreement, that an engagement agreement that you guys know what's happening between both parties. So those are the so as far as adding a new user goes, if it's just you and your husband or you and your wife, you can typically just use Simple Start, and that will help you. And you can just use the one login. If you do, for some reason, need one extra person or two extra people, you can add 2 extra people. This includes 3 users, so you and 2 other users to this package here. So if you needed Essentials and you needed multiple users, you could do that. Again, that also includes an accountant as well. So you really get 4 users in Essentials. I don't really know that many people that need that many people accessing their bookkeeping. So again, Simple Start is easy enough to go with that. The one thing I would say is, if you are going to be paying bills with the next part is manage and pay bills. If you're going to be paying bills inside of QuickBooks, if you're going to add the bill and then pay that bill, then I would definitely recommend Essentials and just go with that extra bump. But other than that, that's really the only thing that I would recommend over Simple Start. Tracking time. The tracking time system I've never used. None of my clients ever use tracking time within QuickBooks. The QuickBooks has their own platform that used to be T-Sheets, is now called QuickBooks Time. So you can add that to any package. It's a completely separate system, and I can go over that with you later in a different video. But this tracking time is just a tracking time system that they have within QuickBooks, that you can just book time. It's not something where really you'll have an employee that is saying, I did this much time, I clocked in this time and left this time. It's really not meant for that. So I would again, that's not anything to write home about with that extra perk. If you're paying bills, then go ahead and add go with the Essentials, QuickBooks Essentials.